Are you kind of the point person for these agreements with the school district? Is that how it works?
Yes. District has a representation. Obviously, school board has to approve everything based on recommendations from the superintendent. And then we actually engage, which is required, a third party to be the mediator for the whole process. Mm-hmm. We're not in the business of doing 313s, and legislative actions change the requirements periodically, and that's why we have to have it's good that they wrote it in the law that there is a third party mm-hmm. expert involved with the impacts of state funding. How do these agreements impact state funding? Because mm-hmm. the great thing on the school district is we're basically the middleman. We're held harmless for any revenue losses. Mm-hmm. The limitation's only for maintenance and operation purposes, which is basically state determined based on the state funding formulas. Mm-hmm. If the companies decide to build a project here, we actually get to keep the full value for our debt service requirements. Mm-hmm. So it's a huge benefit for our community and other taxpayers that we're able to either expand our bond programs or pay mm-hmm. back our bonds faster. So it's a really good situation for us to encourage growth, and so I think it's definitely meeting the state's objective because this was a state economic development program, and I think it's done at least in our area, we've seen a significant impact on related to these projects.
How would you measure that local impact? And I'm interested in if there are bond programs you put out there because you were able to with the new value, or
right. We were very fortunate. Our voters passed a $175 million bond program, mm-hmm. and what we've been able to do is phase that in and keep the current tax rate flat, uh-huh. And allow, as that growth occurs from industry, we then schedule our bond sales to actually move forward with our bond program. So, for instance, based on the value growth that we saw this past year, we were able to do $35 million worth of bond sales. Mm-hmm. 2 years from now, we project we'll be able to do another we did $45 million. Okay. 2 years from now, we'll be able to do another $35 million, and then 2 years from that point, we'll be able to do another $95 million. And so, we were able to go to the voters and say, here's our plan, based on all these projects that we are currently aware of. Mm-hmm. We project our values to do this over the next several years, and with that growth we'll be able to accomplish this and not increase your tax rate. Mm-hmm. And so for us, it's in our whole community has been able to enjoy a significant impact on our facilities and without a direct tax rate increase for them.
Down to is it a new high school building?
We're doing five new elementaries, okay. And then which equates to about $105 million of that bond program. So for those 5 elementaries, it's replacing 5 of our 11 elementaries. Okay. And then the remainder of the program is related to various projects district-wide, and there's a complete list of projects that I can share with you on our website as well. And
check it out.
And I can show you where to actually locate it. I pulled up the website because we do store a lot of information, and mm-hmm. this is just our main page, brazoportisd.net. Uh-huh. Fourth item down under quick links is bond projects, and the 2014 bond program is what the $175 million is related to. Mm-hmm. And then you just look at projects by facility as a nice summary of what's happening, and then we do it by campus.
Oh, that's
so
real easy. Yeah.
Austin Elementary, it shows everything we're doing at that campus, yeah. And so on and so forth. And so it's a pretty cool summary for our community to be able to pull out and visually see, okay, what's going to happen at our campus, and then hold us accountable for it, because mm-hmm. We definitely want to make sure we're meeting the objectives of what we said we were going to do. So,
mm-hmm. So were you here when the 2002 313 agreement came around, or was that before your time?
That was before me. That was the first one in the state. Yeah. Obviously, everyone was probably feeling their way through it because it was so new. Yeah. But we've we've actually used the same consultants the whole time.
Is that Moat Casey?
Moat Casey and
Yeah,
Associates.
I met with them last week
Okay.
too, so I got the kind of statewide perspective
Right.
from them as well.
Yeah, it's Moat Casey, and then they use Kevin O'Hanlon as the attorney representation. We like utilizing Moat Casey and them because they're so heavily involved with the funding aspects of it. I mean, they help the state run their models, and who better to be the third party mediator to help us come up with potential revenue loss calculations to make sure that we're not missing out on anything. And then also it also helps the companies because they're the ones having to cut the check for revenue losses that may occur. They know that they have a quality company that's very in tune with the formulas to actually do those calculations, and they feel confident as far as actually writing those checks based on those
You want
calculations.
to be careful when you're moving that much money around
It is
with a check.
Yeah, it is that's a a lot of times they're like an invoice. Like everybody else, all the companies, they want to have an invoice to support their payments. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what's being supported is the calculations of revenue losses, and we're having to rely on a third party to actually provide that, and we can do them. But again, I think the companies like to have that third party just to keep a separation there and make sure that everybody is on the same page. We do verify just to make sure we're errors can occur, especially when you're dealing with projections, and making sure the assumptions are correct. And so when it comes to the average daily attendance and the projections for tax revenues, and so anyway, there's a lot that goes into it, and but we definitely enjoy working with them. We have a good working relationship. They provide us our legislative updates as well, so it all works together, and really helps from an efficiency side because we're not having to deal with multiple individuals. We were able to have a go-to company. So
I was interested in sort of I know there have been a few recent applications for agreements with you guys, and how that relates to the overall growth in like heavy industry and within the district boundaries.
Yes.
Even down to like which, how many of the big plants I might have driven by are part of these agreements.
Let's see. We've changed. Oh yeah. Some of the larger ones, we put this on our website as well, so the community could see what we were using as our estimates for impact. I felt like I wanted to be ultra conservative. As far as our estimates for value increases, I only used the 313 agreements. I didn't use any other home value growth or other companies that might be coming in to support these plants. I know there's a lot of restaurants and shopping that have been added as well that I didn't include in my calculations. There's a brand new HEB. There's one of the 13th largest Kroger's coming to our area.
Oh wow.
So there's a lot of things that are occurring, plus the housing that's being actually built. I didn't include any of that just because I wanted to be conservative, that if something did come off that didn't actually get built, we were still okay from our timing. We can always adjust our timing of sales because everything we've told everyone is that this is conservative. We've subject to change because our speed in which we can implement this bond program is dependent upon how quickly the plants construct their facilities, because we're 100% tied to their growth. And so we have there was 5 Dow agreements, and there's the project names that were listed and the various values and when they would come on, when they're anticipated to be completed. And so we listed all that out. We had one that was kind of unknown, Phillips 66, and that one
ended
actually
up not going through, right?
Yeah, that one has had some challenges. It spanned 3 different school districts because it came all the way from Sweeney plant, went through a portion of Columbia Resoria's zone through the Clemens unit, and then pipelined up to Quintana, where the Phillips 66 export facility is being constructed. So
Mhm.
it was unique, and obviously they were trying to work through some of the logistics, and just really haven't had a whole